Well, Boeing says it has suspended all test flights of its 787 Dreamliner, pending a better look at what caused a fire on a test flight earlier this week. The Dreamliner is already 3 years late, and so how worried should investors be about this? The stock has already taken a bit of a hammering in the last few days on it. Well, Cowen analyst Cai Von Rumohr is a top-ranked analyst in the aerospace sector and has followed Boeing for years. He joins us from Boston this morning. Cai, good to have you with us. And I'm just looking at my notes here because Boeing says the fire was caused in a power control panel, not in flight test gear. What does that mean?
Well, essentially what they're saying is they had an electrical fire and it shut down the electrical power system. There was fire and smoke in the cabin, so that's a serious situation. A serious situation that would then need what then for Boeing? Well, I think the issue is they've got to figure out what happened and what is the fix. You know, if it requires a redesign, that basically is going to clearly take more time, further delay the delivery schedule. That's the adverse case. Mm-hmm. On the other hand,
that's the worst case scenario. Cai, that's the worst case. Okay.
That is the worst case. And the other scenario is that it's something relatively simple and correctable. It's a software issue. A wire was incorrectly connected to the wrong issue, and that caused some sort of a short. So they're studying the issue. We'll find out in a bit. And I think, you know, so if that's the case, and remember, this electrical power system has undergone the most rigorous testing on the ground before it started flying. Mm-hmm. It's been in 2,400 hours approximately a flight test, so it is possible it's something that simple.
Okay.
So once we know if it's the simple fix, I think the stock recovers. If it's the adverse case, the stock goes down. And I think until they give us a definitive answer, this stock and many of the suppliers to Boeing are going to tend to drift downward.
Well, I mean, at this point, Cai, do you have any intelligence whether or not this could be an unlikely redesign situation?
I think it's honestly impossible to tell until you know what caused the fire.
Okay. Is it just coincidence then that Boeing is running into these problems at the same time that the Airbus A380 is running into problems with its engine?
Well, the electrical power system is very different than the engine. Boeing also may have an issue with the Rolls-Royce engine because it's architecturally similar to the engine on the A380, which had the oil leak issue. I believe that the Package B version of the Rolls engine, which is on the 787, is corrected so it doesn't have the oil leak problem. Some of the earlier versions do have a similar problem, so it's unclear whether Boeing is going to deliver planes that have that earlier Rolls engine. That
have that engine. Okay, so for Airbus, then, we're not looking at a huge problem. People can still feel safe flying the A380s?
Well, I mean, an oil leak problem is a problem, and so I think, you know, by maintenance they can probably fix it. But you know, I think at some point there's going to have to be some fix to take care of that, so that they don't have that fundamental problem.
Okay, all right, very interesting, Cai. Thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
That is Cai Von Rumohr over at Cowen Co.